Stitch Cutie. I'm Brittany.
And I'm Julie.
And together we're the mother-daughter duo of Stitches of Love. Woo! You can't do that without wooing.
You have to woo.
I have to woo. So welcome to our live. It's so exciting to be back on Facebook Live, don't you think?
I think so.
It's been a minute.
More
Now
than
we're
a
back.
minute.
It's been a few minutes.
Many months.
Many months.
Many
We're
minutes.
so excited to be back. We have some people sharing with us already.
Yeah, people are
Yay!
saying hey and hi.
Hi!
Cindy Johnson and Roxy Stare.
Hey, Cindy and
Oh.
Roxy. Yay! How are you, ladies?
Welcome to this little live.
A little live.
A little live.
A little live. We're so excited to be here today. We are sharing one of our favorite new tools.
My absolute
You're
favorite.
obsessed.
It's like a game changer for Appliqué.
Absolutely.
It changes it from being a four-letter word to a happy, pleasant place to be.
I know. So do we have some more people joining us?
We do. Sandra Copeland says hi, lovely ladies.
How are
Hi, Sandra.
you? Did you get to talk to her before the live?
I did.
Okay,
I
hey,
did.
And then Pam McKay Varnell says hi, ladies.
Hey, Pam, how are
And
you?
Lenny Herman
Hey,
and
Lenny.
Lila says good afternoon.
Hey, oh my gosh, I love it. I feel like we're reunited with all our peoples. Don't you feel that? Oh,
Yes,
I'm so excited y'all are here.
Hope everybody's having a good day today.
I know. Well, of course, they're having a good day. They're live with us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to put that out there. That's an exciting part of the day.
Well, I know that some people watching already have this little setup, like Leanie does.
I was going to say, I think everyone that said hi probably already has it. So hopefully y'all are loving it. I know several of y'all that are on right now emailed and said how much you loved it, which makes me happy.
So let me tell you why I like all this.
Let's hear it, Mom.
I guess I'll tell you first. Okay, first off, with doing applique, the way I used to have to do it years ago was I did have a light box. And when I say box, I mean box.
Little
it was
box.
thick and heavy, and it was bulky, and it was just awkward. But I was able to put my patterns on and trace my little pieces. And so I was either doing hand applique, and I would trace my pieces and then leave a margin around so that I could turn it, or I was doing machine applique with the fusible, but I was having to trace everything myself. So I took care of that problem with the laser. So now we have all our laser
okay, so
cut
first
pieces.
problem solved by Stitches of Love. Laser cut pieces.
Laser cut pieces.
Check.
That's good. And then the thing is, once I would have them, I would have my little placement guide, and I would either, put it on my light pad, but then I would have my stuff, and I'd have to like wobble it over to the ironing board, because my ironing board was, not right next to me, or even if I put it next to me, it was still would move from where I had it. This was before we even had
I was going to say,
pressing sheets.
but this was before the day of the pressing sheets and the Steady Betties, I think.
Yes, absolutely. But it was,
It's a long time ago, y'all.
I'm talking about before pressing sheets were even available. And then...
At all?
Yes. Then this
Oh,
wonderful company, I want to say it was called
Bear Creek Threads. Bear
Anyway,
Creek.
something with a bear. And they had great pressing sheets, so I would use that. But again, I still had my wobbliness. And then we've got Steady Betties.
Which I still use every day.
I love to use my Steady Betties because it's a nice surface and it's portable, and I can also sit down to do it, because now that I'm old, I like to sit.
I like everything in a pile. I don't even want to make a step. So yeah.
I kind of do have a pile. So
Yeah.
now, for about 5 years, I've been using glass, the Caterpillar glass pressing mat, or what's it called?
Appliqué glass.
Applique glass.
Well, it's
Yeah.
called appliqué and crafting glass. We've shortened it to appliqué glass because, well, that's what we use it for.
Yeah. And so I would use that, and then I was able to iron directly on top of that, on top of my light pad. Genius. Saves you so much steps.
So many
you can
steps.
be way more accurate. Life is now good again.
So
with
the
applique.
main thing that the glass does for you, you can use your light pad, keep your appliqué pieces in place, and not have to move it to another ironing surface. You can iron directly on that glass.
Yes.
Now you don't want to press your t-shirts or
And I'll tell you,
anything
if
on it.
you-
It's
and
for
I
applique.
always use the little whoa.
This is as long as your
It's a
cord
short
is.
cord. I always use a little steam fast iron. Whoa, Brittany.
I use this one all the time. Yes, it gets dirty.
But if you sit this on your glass, you don't want to do that. So you want to have another stand.
This is just a standard little silicone mat. Nothing special, just
you
regular.
can buy the little like waffle weave silicone things like it.
Those are actually big box holders
stores.
even.
Yeah, and that's what I use up here in my office for mine. So you want to sit it on that. You don't want to sit it on your glass. And if you leave your iron on your glass long and you come back, the glass will retain the heat. So caution, you don't want to burn yourself. I mean, you're not really going to burn yourself, but it's just a little awkward.
I haven't had to get any harder than like my fusing mat gets. You know what the fusing mat, if y'all seen the video tutorials, I always do what I call the shake because it does retain the heat for a second. So before I peel my piece up, I do the shake.
Well, you want that to cool anyway before you peel your paper off.
Also that.
So
are you going to give us a little demo, Mom?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, we have some comments, I hope. Yay.
Yeah, Mary Dunson says, nice to see you from Tennessee.
Hey,
Hi.
Mary.
Cindy says she has it.
Are you loving it, Cindy? I hope so.
Donna's here.
Hey,
she
Donna.
says hi.
Like our Donna?
Donna Meerdink? No, she's
our
from
Donna. Hey, Donna.
Leanie.
Donna. That's exciting.
Leanie used hers last night.
Oh, good.
Others don't have it. People are getting it next month, so everybody's saying hello.
Oh,
Yay.
good. And I do want to let everybody know, we have, I think, about 10 or 15 left in the building. We already have more coming in, and the same with the matching light pad and cutting mats. All of that's already, y'all are ordering it so fast we can't keep it stocked. It's awesome, but we're just ordering more and more, so they're shipping out as fast as possible. So
I really think that it's revolutionary. It just makes you have so much more fun.
yes.
I can't do it without.
No. Well, we should tell a little of the story. So you've been using this for years, and before this, you actually had your own piece of glass that you had a glass store make you, but it wasn't soft
wasn't
and round
as nice
and
as this.
yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of the people that are listening to us now have heard my story, but I was actually trying to get it and sell it myself. But shipping from China is hard.
Yes, I will say that
And
I
I
am
couldn't get
so
any-
impressed with the pricing on this.
Yeah, I couldn't get
From a business perspective, it's incredible.
I could not get the glass people in the United States, no matter where I called, to work with me. Apparently, you have to be a glass distributor, and you have to go through hoops to do that, and just
You even have to take contracting tests. We were not going to do that.
So having this glass from Caterpillar, when they said, yeah, you can iron on it, I was like, okay.
Game changing.
I'm telling everybody now.
You called me and I was sitting on the deck with Steven and I thought Mom won the lottery. She was like, oh my God.
Oh, because I want everybody to have fun.
And the next day we ordered a ton of glass.
Because a lot of people stay away from applique, which I think is so much fun, but they stay away from it because they're afraid of it, it's hard, that sort of thing. So what's beautiful about this glass is it's only 5 millimeters thick, and it is rounded on the corners, so it's nice and gentle curve there. It's a size that is really appropriate, I think. It's 12 by 16, so that the measurements on it are 12 by 16, so it's actually a little bit larger than
It's
that.
like 12 and a half by 16 and a half, I think.
Yeah, just a little bit bigger. And then the mat, or the Caterpillar, what is this, the light pad,
I love it.
is, I don't know, I'm going to
It's
say
a little bit thinner, actually.
I think it's about the same to me, but it's
amazing.
This one is,
You can unplug it. I have it charging because I use it so much. But it's cordless, which is awesome.
and it has 3 levels.
3
of light.
levels.
Libby has something to say.
We do have a question from Liz Bowen Taylor. She says, what would be the main use? I'm in one of your clubs and figures are built a piece at a time on the embroidery machine.
Oh,
Would
okay.
I have a use for this?
Great question. So if you are doing the embroidery files and you're building everything in the hoop, then what I recommend is to have the Steady Betty right in front of your sewing machine, so which you probably already do if you're doing that, and you build your unit in the hoop. So if you're doing the embroidery machine, then you really don't need the glass. I will tell you at the embroidery machine what I do use the glass for is, and I'm not sure which club you're in, but for like, let's say the gnomes, the embroidery hoop isn't big enough to give us that trim line. So what I do is I put my placement guide that comes in the pattern directly on my glass, because you can also cut on your glass. So not like all the time, don't cut like your piecing pieces on your glass and stuff, but I will use it to mark my outline of where I'm going to trim, like let's say my gnomes, and then I will be able to trim directly on it for a second. It also,
And
so if
speaking
you're doing
of
the machine
trimming-
embroidery, you don't really need the glass. I love it with it as well, but can we show the cutting mat that
That's
matches
what I was
this?
thinking.
Yeah, so what I love about this light pad and the glass is that the light pad comes with this self-healing cutting mat, which I'm obsessed with. One, I like the lines. If you don't like lines, you can buy one that doesn't have lines, but it's a perfect fit to the glass, like as an exact.
Which is actually fits the size
of the light
where
pad.
the light comes through.
So for me, I kind of have like a perfect pile when I'm doing the embroidery, and y'all know me, embroidery is my favorite, so can I have like 1 minute to talk about it? Well, I kind of am taking that
Can
minute.
we
I love
finish-
it.
Can we finish this a little bit first?
Well, I was going to tell my perfect pile.
Okay, just a minute on a perfect pile. Even though if you don't buy the light pad, which comes with this, you can still get, if you're going to be using the light box with the glass, some other light pad.
Like if you have your own light pad
Light
already,
pad.
you're just buying the
It's
glass.
really nice to have this cutting mat because it is translucent and they don't have any lines on this one. It's a little bit larger than the glass. It's actually the same size as the light pad, this light pad, which is, I can tell you now, 19 by 13.
Yeah.
So a little bit larger than we thought. But this works really well. You can see this is mine. I do cut on it.
Yeah, I was
do
going to
use
say,
it.
how old is that? Because you cut on it a lot.
I don't know. I've had
This
it-
one's probably about 4 or 5 years old as well.
No, because I haven't had it clear quite that long, I don't
Oh,
think,
okay.
but it's been used, and it is a self-healing mat. It's great. I like it.
It's awesome.
Okay, now Brittany wants a perfect
Well, no,
pile.
we have another question. I'll tell about my perfect pile.
Well, Leanie Herman wanted to add that it's
Yeah.
nice to lay the pieces to match on the light box to find the right pieces when you are doing the
Yes.
embroidery version.
That is so true. And a lot of times, like in the video tutorials, I don't use my placement guide when I'm doing the embroidery because, like, I just happen to be lucky enough to be the one that digitized it,
and
so I know where
Brittany's-
everything goes.
What
But
Brittany's talking about, I believe, is this, where Brittany has all the pieces numbered, and so then you
or
would
the
have
flip
them,
side as well.
yeah, but you would have them laid out where you're gonna, you could just pick it up real easy as you'd go with the embroidery machine.
Yeah, it makes it really easy, and I will say I have kind of started to use it a little bit more now that I have the light pad in front of my perfect pile that kind of all works in with it. My perfect pile in front of the embroidery machine.
You guys can have a perfect pile too.
Yeah, we should each name our perfect pile. I think they're exactly the same. No, mine doesn't include that. So my perfect pile for the embroidery machine is the Caterpillar Premium Glow, which comes with the 12 by 18 cutting mat. So the light pad and this cutting mat come together. And then I add my glass, my applique glass, and I put my cutting mat on top of that. And then I have my 12 by 16 Steady Betty. That's my perfect pile for the machine embroidery. I use this side.
Yeah, and your Steady Betty will age a little bit with, like, if you use steam in your iron, it's going to age and discolor a little bit. But if you don't like that, you just flip it over and use the other side, or use one side with your dry and one side with your steam. The only reason I comment on that is Steady Betty Lady Kathy told me about that.
Steady Betty Lady Kathy. Our friend Kathy.
Our friend Kathy, who owns the Steady
Kathy
Betty,
Purdy.
who's the Steady Betty lady.
The Steady Betty lady.
Yeah, so that's Brittany's perfect pile.
So what's your perfect pile?
Well, I tend to not
For machine applique, sewing machine applique.
Yeah, for sewing machine applique, I don't really have a pile going on. I have my Steady Betty off to the side, and I do like to have my cutting mat, but I don't use my cutting mat that often until I'm towards the end of getting my stuff done. So that's not there either. So neither is that one.
So is this your
So
perfect
I have
pile?
my light pad and I have my glass. And then what I'll do is I'll put my placement guide on top as I'm building my units, and I use this precision fusing mat on top. And so then I know that you guys, even if I hold this up, you can't tell, but you can see through it to see the numbers.
Really nicely.
And this one also comes with a really, a white, more of a Teflon sheet, pressing sheet. It's not as see-through, I don't think, as this one. So I like this one. Plus, this one has a little tackiness to hold your pieces in place. So as I'm drawing my stuff, and I have to cut them out myself. I use this a lot.
Y'all get the laser cut pieces because Mom's the designer and we can't laser it until we know the design. So Mom has to cut her own pieces.
So
No, I lasered you something the other day.
She did. It was very nice. I forgot what that was.
It was one of the August things. We had it fully lasered before you were actually done with the sample. Remember? That was like a weird situation that we got to laser.
I don't
first.
remember what it was, but anyway, it was very handy. I really enjoyed the laser cut pieces.
It's all I use, so I can't imagine having to trace and cut it all. That just doesn't sound fun.
Oh, that's why, I wanted a laser cutter at the beginning.
Yeah.
I could tell you guys my history with laser cutters.
No, I think we're just talking about glass.
Okay.
So let's do a
I
quick,
have stories, you
let's
guys.
do a quick demo though, because we promised everyone a demo. So let's show them. Let's do a sneak peek demo. Let's do it. Are you ready for this?
I don't know. You can do it.
Oh, you want me to do
You
it?
be the demo.
Oh, I'll be the
lady.
demo girl. I love doing this. Okay, so, this is really special actually. We never like to show the original because I only like to show the fancy things. But everything for the Hedgie starter is already kitted and in the inventory room. And I didn't want to open a box. Because they're perfectly piled.
So what she's saying is she has mine.
This is Mom's original drawing.
This is what I give Brittany to do her
Yeah.
magic.
And she gives me notes for like what I need to do when I digitize and the measurements. And then I come back and number it that are ultimately the numbers you get on your pattern. So we're going to use Mom's original. And what I do, and what you would do too. Now this is for sewing machine applique. This is not the embroidery portion. So you would put your placement guide between your glass and your fusing mats. And then what we're going to do is build a unit. So the benefit of building a unit, in my mind, is one, if you're going to mess up, you mess up before you get to your fabric, which I like. So it improves your accuracy.
She says fabric, she needs your background fabric.
Yeah, before you like iron it onto your fabric, you can make a mistake and adjust it. Which I like to know that I can't make a mistake, right?
Right.
So for this little guy, the unit I would start making is the little spool and the flower. Wouldn't you agree, Mom? And then we'll put that on him.
Yeah.
I like for Mom to tell me I'm right. Hey, we have a question?
I just wanted to say everybody's saying they're so excited for the Hedgies.
Oh, good! Oh my gosh, we're so excited around the office. And Libby is so excited too, I know. So Libby is behind the camera, y'all can't see her, but she is our marketing coordinator and graphic designer. And so this is, man, the full first project we're getting to do together. And so I thought our patterns were really good before, y'all. Just wait.
Libby's enhanced everything
And
quite a bit.
for those of you that are doing the embroidery, you know that the embroidery file, readme file, always says like, take hoop on, take hoop off, blah, blah, blah. Boring to read, right? I don't want to spoil the surprise, but it's going to be really cute in the new embroidery pattern, don't you think?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really cute.
Because we like things cute.
Yeah, so I will say that,
And
like...
Libby helped us so much with the box, too.
Yeah. Oh, I'm like, is it right here? We filmed other videos for the Hedgies already today, so in my head, Hedgie stuff is right here. But it's not. It's already done up front.
Okay.
So, in any case, let's build a
unit.
unit.
Over to give you some more space.
No, I
You
can be
good?
close to you.
Oh, I like to be close to you.
Close to you. Okay, so what I'm
Want me
going to do...
sing? No.
No. You don't want us to sing. So what I'm going to do is just follow the numbers. So I have 10 and 11, which are my spool top and bottom. And I know you're not going to be able to see the up close, but don't worry. There's a lot of videos already on YouTube where we're building a unit with the applique glass. But you'll get the idea. So what I am doing is just putting my pieces where they go. And I will say, I've since digitized this so the lines are not exactly the same. And then I'm going to put my next piece, which is number 12. And what I'm going to do is simply iron where
Goes the other direction.
my pieces overlap. So when you're building an applique unit, you don't want to like keep pressing and keep pressing and keep pressing because you don't want to overexpose that heat and bond light, right? How long would you say, Mom? Just a few seconds. I
Touch it
usually
with the
just
iron?
barely touch it. So I always use my Steam Fast travel iron. I gotta pull a little closer because my cord's not long. And you take just the tip of your iron. This is for, again, sewing machine applique, building a unit. And you just touch where your pieces overlap. And that's it.
What you want to do is just melt the glue a little bit so it sticks.
Exactly. We're just trying to build a unit, right? Like this is a unit that we built, just like this, and then it's ready to go directly on the fabric. This is really helpful when you're working with something that has a ton of pieces. Right now this little hedgie doesn't have very many pieces. So now I'm putting in those 10, 11, 12, this is piece number 13, and then 14.
See, I would probably build my flowers separate.
You would build your flowers separate even.
Because you can't see through that blue. Because the blue, sometimes you can see through the fabrics.
Yeah.
But on this case, it's kind of a denim blue. It's actually called Denim Kisses from Riley Blake. And
It's a really
you
cute
can't see
fabric.
through it very well. Of course, you can just sort of wing it, I guess.
Well, they can't see exactly the line, so they don't know that. The magic behind the camera. Mom's putting it perfectly in a
where's-
position.
Okay.
Plop! Just barely touch the iron to it, and it's ironed. And then, whoop. I'm just going to build this little part of the unit. Is that okay?
You
Good.
can do whatever you like.
It's so funny when we film a tutorial
I
together.
don't do like that. I just touch the tip.
You just touch the okay, so I'm going to build this part of the unit, and Mom's going to build the next part of the unit.
No, she's
You know what's really funny? If y'all go back to episode 32 of Stitch and Chit Chat, we do a tutorial, and you say the same things to me in the video.
sorry.
Or you could say I say
So-
the same things to
Or
you.
we could say, obviously, she doesn't listen to me.
Well, I think there's more than one way to do everything. We get the same
There is.
outcome.
Yeah, isn't that cute?
So look, I built a little unit, and all the while, I had my fusing mat, then my placement guide, then my glass, then my light pad. The old-fashioned
it's
way,
not
I
even
have to be
hot.
moving this back and forth to an ironing surface. No, it's not hot at all. Magic. So do you want to build the next part of the unit?
No.
Okay,
One thing
Here's
also-
one part of my unit. I'll keep building my little hedgie while y'all talk.
Also, when you have a unit that's like has stitching lines that you're going to do for accent lines, like a
Yeah.
smiley mouth or eyebrows or what have you.
Do you want to grab a pen?
No. I would
Well, I'm not going to
use
be able
that.
to draw my lines because I didn't bring
I
a
would-
pen. Oh,
No.
not that kind, sorry. Well,
No.
we're not going to do the actual lines. It's okay, everybody.
Because I don't. What's back here is a Sharpie. I don't agree with doing a Sharpie.
No, I
On it.
wouldn't put that on it. Whoop! Almost forgot my ears. So it's really nice. The whole premise is that you get to iron directly on the glass and you don't have to move back and forth to a pressing surface, which ultimately can move your
Or
pieces.
try to like line this up and then wiggle wobble it to your ironing
Yeah.
board.
I will say our pre-film tutorials always are more smooth than our live tutorials.
And also you.
But
don't-
it's the same gist.
yeah. If you didn't have this glass where you could iron,
I dropped the nose.
it's like that. It's really easy to drop things, but you could have your Steady Betty close by, but it's still you're still moving it. Things shift, and it makes you not happy.
So I'll do just the tip. Does that make you happy?
Yeah, very much so. Yes. And then she's.
Did y'all see that?
Do you guys see what I?
That's how I do it. I've never
This
had a
is-
problem doing
This
it.
has been her personality since she was like.
This
1
is
years
Mom
old.
saying she doesn't like me.
I do like her. I just think she's going to do her own thing, which is good to be able to do your own thing.
Well, I like building my little unit.
Okay.
This is why she put me in charge of the embroidery machine, so I can't get in trouble. Look, it turned out perfect.
Perfectly.
Y'all, help, help. Just kidding. Look at this little cutie pie, though. It's perfect.
Yes, you're doing a great job, Brittany.
Thanks, Mom.
You are.
Y'all should see Libby behind the camera. She's like, wait, who are these people?
Libby laughs at us all the time. She probably thinks we're crazy.
Well, we are little. That's what makes it fun, though, right? So what I'm doing this whole time, I'm building my applique unit, and I'm not having to move anywhere. I'm able to stay right on my glass with my placement guide in place. And I will say, the glass wouldn't be effective without the fusing mat.
No, but
You have to have
can-
your fusing mat.
But sometimes when I'm putting it onto my background fabric,
Oh yeah, then
I
you don't need it.
eliminate the fusing mat, and I just, put my fabric on top of my placement guide, and then I put my unit that I've built on top of that.
Can I tell you what I actually do when I do sewing machine applique? I
Sure.
build my unit with my glass and my fusing mat. When and then I iron, I put my fabric in place right on my glass with my placement guide and my applique unit, iron that, and then I actually pull my Steady Betty out, put that on top of my Steady Betty, and really do the final press.
Yeah.
I do my final press with the Steady Betty still, because I feel like it just sort of like gets
Well,
it.
the fusing of this needs to be at least 5 seconds to get it to adhere.
Mm-hmm.
If you heat too long in between, like when you're building your units, you can actually dissolve your glue away. Where it goes, I don't know. But
I've actually never done that, but I know it happens.
it happens. So you want to be really careful. Oh, that's a little loose right there.
Oh, should have touched with the whole thing. We should be like a comedian troupe thing. Look at that hedgy unit.
Uh-huh.
So this is a very small sneak peek of the little hedgy unit.
This is for your starter kit.
This is the starter kit. See how he's like a small guy? Oh my god, that's so stinking cute. Y'all, are you dying for the hedgies?
They have such fat little cheeks. They look like they got something they're munching. And if I was doing this right now, I would take my little mechanical pencil and lightly draw in the facial features,
Mm-hmm.
or I would use
A really small, thin.
really light Pigma pen, very very light, usually like a light brown.
I'm a Pigma pen fan.
You can't use a friction pen because as soon as you
You
iron it
iron.
on, it goes away.
Did I do that recently? I might have done that recently. Like I started to use the friction pen. I was like, oh, just kidding.
Yeah.
I keep them. That's another thing I always keep in my workspace. I always have a Pigma pen and a friction pen, or I'm supposed to. Sometimes I walk around with it, and it's not when I need it there. But those are two things I like to keep at my little workstation in front of my embroidery
You
machine.
can also use those little chalk pencils. A little chalk
Yes,
pencil.
I've
The-
recently kind of started to like those.
Yeah, the Sew Line chalk pencils are really
Yeah.
nice. They have a very fine line,
A very fine
and
line.
you can get different colors.
So what else any like fun, cool things to add about how much you love this, Mommy? Are there any more questions? If y'all have questions, don't hesitate. Even if you're watching this recorded later, don't be shy, ask questions. Because we'll come back and answer.
Yeah.
As long as Facebook notifies us. Sometimes it doesn't tell us a
For quite some
notification.
time, we don't get notices.
Yeah.
But sometimes we get them.
So for those of you maybe just joining us, what our little magic pile? I'll do a summary of my magic pile. You do a summary of your magic pile.
No, my pile's close enough to yours. You do yours.
Okay, so my magic pile, if you're doing this sewing machine embroidery, is the Caterpillar light pad. You can use any light pad, by the way. This is just the one that lately has been like I'm obsessed with, mainly because it's cordless. And I have so many cords, so I
and
love a
the-
cordless.
And for those of you who might be wondering, it lasts on bright about 4 to 5 hours.
4 to 5 hours, yeah.
4 to 5 hours.
When we filmed our chit chat this week, of course it was dead, and I just filmed for like a whole day, and I was like, oh, well, now it looks like it dies, but it only dies if you use it nonstop like I do. And then you just plug it in and charge it.
And honestly, I keep mine plugged in.
Yeah, you keep yours plugged in. I don't keep mine plugged in. Question?
Yes, Debbie Gatherer says, do the pieces have a glue on the backing of the material?
Oh, great question. Yes. So the pieces that we're working with are pre-fused with heat and bond lights, and then they're all laser cut here in our office. And I should add that the heat and bond light is pressed at a very certain degree on our big heat presses, so that every kit you get, you have like a uniformity in that heat and bond light level of heatness.
Robustness.
Yeah. And so then everything is laser cut after it's pressed with that heat and bond light. So when you get a kit, you have a bag of all your PC. This is the back. It looks white because that's the white backing and the heat and bond light. And then everything is pre-fused and pre-cut, ready to go.
You
And
might
then
have to snip it out of them.
yeah, exactly. We do laser like pieces with like. See how like you can see the lines? So that's like 2 apples and then a couple little pieces. So then you just take a pair of scissors and do a little bitty snip. It's usually about 1/8 of an inch snip that you do.
Or even less.
Or even less. Yeah, I've been making them even smaller because it's
It
working.
works.
So I keep
Yeah.
it even smaller. Yeah.
Debbie says thank you. And
Oh,
then
you're welcome.
Leanie says she loves that it's cordless, and she also loves the bag for storage. It's a separate
Oh.
must-have.
Oh,
Yes.
that's right.
I I love, okay, so I'm not using it for anything sewing. That's become my like work bag to and from work with my laptop.
To me, it feels like a wetsuit for your iPad. It's made out of like that neoprene.
It's like
stuff.
it can hold your light pad, your glass, and what I love is there's like that neoprene divider in there.
Mm-hmm.
So
isn't there a pocket somewhere too?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's like that divider, so you can like put your glass in on one side, and then so if we ever get to go out again in public and do retreats, it's really going to be handy then.
Yeah.
For now, I'm using it as a laptop bag. I shouldn't tell people that, but it's great for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Leni, I'm glad you like the bag. I do too. Have you used the bag?
No, because I don't have one.
Oh.
No. But I don't go anywhere, so.
Do we just go to work?
If I ever need one, I know where to get one.
Y'all, lately I've actually been getting to go to Mom's house and play.
Yeah, we've been playing.
Isn't that weird? It felt weird at first to like not work and like go play on a weekend, but it's fun.
It's like what we used to do.
It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I know, pre-COVID days.
So you have.
Yeah, so I use the light pad. Again, you can use any light pad, but I like this one in particular because it's all the same size. And then I have my applique glass. I keep this particular light pad comes with a cutting mat, so I keep that in my pile. And then I have a Steady Betty. Love my Steady Betty. It's gonna stay in my pile.
I'm not such a good Vanna.
You're a great Vanna.
Here's her Steady Betty.
Yeah, and this I think was originally your Steady Betty. Probably.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think I have one at home that looks a little rougher than this, but it works great.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it doesn't matter what color it is.
When she first came out with Steady Betty, I was like, I gotta have that. So mine's old.
And that's funny because in my head, I don't remember life before Steady Betty.
It's because you're spoiled and young. She didn't, listen, this child thought everybody had a long arm machine at their house to do their quilts.
Well, that makes me sound really, but I grew up obviously with like a professional quilter. And we were in a sewing machine store, and this guy just went on and on about like how wide it was, and you could quilt, like roll your. I was like, why would anyone do that? I didn't know. I thought everyone had a Ruby. That's what we named our quilt machine.
Because she's red.
Because
Okay,
she's
so
ruby
this
red.
is the clear cutting mat as well
That you like.
that I like. That's mine.
And I will say, like, for example, what quilt, I think I think this is a tip. I might have just made this up in my head, but like, I like to use the same cutting mat for the one project from start to finish. So for like the U-Troop, I've used this cutting mat throughout the whole thing. So every time I cut for the U-Troop, I'm cutting on this cutting mat.
Why?
Because what if an inch is a little different on another cutting mat?
You're supposed to use your ruler.
I know you're supposed to use your rulers to measure, but the embroidery machine tells me where to trim it down later, so I don't have to. Yeah. Again, spoiled by the technology, what can I say?
Yes, Libby?
We have someone saying, "Hey y'all, it's Gidget."
Hey, Gidget!
Gidget!
Gidget, we just talked about you at lunch.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you.
Because you told me, you were like, hey, Gidget called. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
I'm gonna
my
call
gosh.
you, Gidget. Don't worry.
We didn't forget about you. We didn't want to be like the weird people that are like, hey, come to us.
We're gonna call you. I'm
Yes.
gonna call you.
Yay! But yay, hey, Gidget.
So what else?
Well, I think, have we run out of things to talk about? It
This
couldn't
is
be
like-
possible.
This is like the perfect applique thing. You know, like
Mhm.
when you're quilting, you know, you have like your favorite tools, like you have your favorite ruler, you have to have a rotary cutter.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. You know, when you've got your favorite threads. And so to me, this is just for building your units and actually just building units in general, because I know a lot of people
Yeah, a lot of people
build
don't do
units.
that. Yeah.
And I think, well, I'm just going to toot our own little patterns. One thing that was important
Let's
to me.
toot our own horn.
Well, no, but one thing that was important to me, and we've always done this with our patterns, is we give you the pieces in reverse. So why should you have to figure out how to reverse them? And we give
Yeah,
it
if
to
you do want to trace it again.
with numbered so that you can put it on in the proper order. We're trying to help you out.
Yeah, make it as easy as
Because
possible.
a long time ago, and I know a lot of people are doing that now too, but you still every now and then will come up with a pattern that's like,
Well, there's that one French designer, I can't think of her name, and I love her stuff, but none of it is reversed, and then we had to trace it onto vinyl or something.
That was so we would have a placement guide.
Yeah.
And we were using a patio door in the dark with not good light.
Karen and you and I were at Daytona, and we were in an Airbnb without all of our tools. So maybe that's why I think that. But not having a placement guide,
Basically, because
for the birds.
we just had to do it right then is what.
yeah, like we
Yeah.
left the show and like went and played.
So like Leanie says, having that little tote bag, if you
oh
travel,
my gosh,
you would
yeah.
always be ready to work on your pattern.
Well,
if
one
you
day
just
we're gonna go
couldn't
visit
stand it.
Leanie in California.
Yeah, she's
Oh, Leanie, I hope you're okay by fires. I thought about you actually when I was watching the fires.
and I've been thinking about the hurricane people.
I know.
Someone's asking something.
A lady named Kathy has an order question, and she wanted to know if you have a phone number she can call.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
we
yeah,
do.
yeah. If you just go to, it's on our website, right? Yeah. We just
I hope
changed the
so.
website, so I can't remember where it is.
But Kathy,
yeah,
we
it's-
can tell you right now, it's 850.
Oh, yeah, we know the number.
I know the number. It's 850-518.
9203.
Yeah.
518-9203. But it's also, if you just click on support on our website, it's right at the very top.
And if you call between the hours of 10 and 3 or 4
Eastern time.
Eastern time, I try to get back with you. The phone has been ringing a lot lately, and so I'm on the phone a lot and don't get them answered. So please leave
A voicemail.
A voicemail, because I am not a good clicker back and forther.
Well, it would be rude if you're on the phone with one person to answer
click,
the
yes.
beep and
Yeah, I
talk to
just
the other
can't do that.
person.
So
Yeah.
So please leave me a
And
message.
also sometimes we're filming.
Yeah, and sometimes I'm not here, so give me a little.
You're
bit of
allowed to
time.
leave the building?
Yeah, I do.
I'm just kidding.
So give me a little bit of time, but I will get back with you. Everybody is
But yeah,
important.
it was Kathy,
And-
right? Kathy, just give us a call. Give us, obviously, time to when we're done after this, because we can't answer on camera.
She says thank you.
You're welcome,
You're welcome,
Kathy.
Kathy.
Another question?
It's a comment. Roxy says, don't forget, if you are doing Boo Crew, the final block is applique, not machine embroidery. So you can
Yes.
use this on that block.
Oh my gosh, that's a really good point, Roxy. Yeah, so on the Boo Crew, the center block, you know, months 1 through 12, if you're doing the embroidery version, you did it in the hoop of your embroidery machine. And I am personally really sad that I have no more embroidery tutorials to film. I was like really kind of like depressed when I was done with that.
Did you finish all of these already?
The hedgies?
Yeah.
No, I haven't finished all 12 tutorials for the
So you
hedgies.
have some more to film.
No, I have more, but I just enjoyed the Boo Crew so much. But we have block 13. It's that center haunted house. And I will tell you, like, we have had a few people call and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm really scared about actually doing the applique for that. But let me tell you what I've noticed about that quilt. First off, the whole haunted house is black. So when you do black applique stitching on black fabric, guess what? You can't see it. So if you just want to do straight lines, like 1/8 of an inch in, you can do that. Or that's a really good place to practice your buttonhole stitch because no one will see it.
But on that, it's really not going to be difficult. You can
It's
do
all
the
straight
buttonhole
lines.
stitch, you can do straight line, you can do zigzag, you can do whatever makes you happy.
And we have a tutorial
that-
for that posts, gosh, in like a week it posts.
So it's not going to be. What was that?
It's boxes moving in the inventory room.
Oh.
But that's a really easy applique block in my mind. And the reason it's not machine embroidery, or I don't know what everybody's laughing at, because
Because I thought there was a boogeyman coming after us.
I don't think a boogie. Well, I don't know. We've had some weird people come to the
I
office,
thought it was
but
something. It sounded like something in the ceiling to me. You guys, just whatever.
well, we actually do hear things in the ceilings a lot here.
Anyway, thank you, Roxy, for pointing that out.
Yeah.
That is a very good point. Yes, and the reason that's not done as an embroidery file
it's
is
this
because
big.
it's too big.
It would not. Well, technically, you can rehoop, but the way we do, where we stitch the placement guide, there's no way to effectively. You would have to rehoop every piece basically to build that big unit. But I promise, it's not a scary thing to applique. It's really, really easy. But you really don't see the stitching.
No.
But yeah,
Yes.
I'm sad that that's all done.
Debbie wants to ask, this is my first quilt with you. Will there be tutorials for the hedgies?
Absolutely. So you're going to hear my voice a lot in them. Mom some of the time, but mainly I think me and the hedgies, so get used to me. So yeah, we will have a tutorial. There's 2 versions for the hedgies. One is sewing machine applique, where you use your sewing machine and you do the buttonhole stitch or zigzag stitch or whatever applique stitch you want to use. And then the other version is on the embroidery machine, where the embroidery machine does all the fun stuff for you, which I personally enjoy the most. And so either version that you do, we're going to have a tutorial for you every single month. Now, we're not going to end, I will say, in the sewing machine applique, we don't stitch the whole thing in the video. We show you how to build the applique unit and then give you stitch tips, because I think it would be kind of boring to just watch us sew for a couple hours.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, so we help you build your applique unit. And I will say, especially like if the applique, this is your first quote, this is a really easy one because the pieces are so big. Don't you think?
Yes, and I purposely did that. I was trying to make the motifs on there to be simple, simpler, I suppose, and not as many pieces.
And like the hedgie and his ears and his hands, they're the exact same for all of them. So you kind of, I don't know, get a little rhythm down.
Yeah.
Don't you think, as you like go through every block? We're so excited about the hedgies. I can't wait for everybody to see what's in that first box.
I just love the fabrics in it. It's so colorful to me.
Yeah, it's a really fun mix of what Moda, Riley, Blake, and Adorn-It.
Yep.
It's really cute.
And
it's an original design by Mom, so those are her hedgies.
And
I guess are you referring to my cheeks or the hedgie
No, the hedgie
cheeks?
cheeks. Little hedgie
Oh,
cheeks.
okay. You just looked at me like.
No, hedgie cheeks. Every time I look at them, I feel like they're chomping on something. I don't know, just whatever. The other thing that's coming up is Santa Claus, which is one of Amy's, and it's so cute.
Yeah, that's
and
a really
I
cute.
haven't got that finished yet, so I'm really looking forward to working on that some more.
But that launches in October, I believe.
Yes.
So we're gonna have a lot more block of the month.
So I gotta get on it.
I know. We're excited. So Libby and I get to do like the fun stuff that goes in the box. So I'm excited to do Santa. Are you excited to do Santa?
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. But I am really excited to do the hedgies. And I was realizing today, if you join the gnomes at the very beginning, there's only like 4 months left already, or 3 months left already. I can't wait. That gnome quilt is going in my house. I want that gnome quilt in my house.
Okay.
It's gonna go in my dressing room. I have the spot. Know right where it's gonna go.
Okay, so I think
I
we
think
just
that's
about
it.
covered it.
Yay!
If you have any more questions about this whole setup, just email us at orders@stitchesoflovequilting.com.
Yeah.
And we'll answer your questions.
And if you go to stitchesofquilting.com and click on notions, you can click on each individual item that we mentioned, and we give you words about it.
Words.
Maybe more.
You have words?
We have some words. That's what I've been calling it lately. I have to do some words on the website.
These two are good with words.
I like having to write less words. I like Libby writing the words.
But the wonderful thing is they both like to do words.
We do like words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we like pretty stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're really happy around here, and I hope that you guys that have this really, truly enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because to me, it is just, it's just fun. It just makes life way more fun.
Well, and I have to tell you, I'm so glad we have the glass, because every now and then in a tutorial, I would just get lazy and not move to my pressing surface and just iron on the light pad, and that's not good.
Oh, and when I used to have to show things in the past before we were able to sell the glass, I was like, oh, how
Remember
am I
at
gonna do
shows?
this the old way?
At
You know?
shows, remember?
It was hard for me.
Yeah.
It's like, knowing a big secret.
And now the secret is public. And we have fun to, all the people at Caterpillar have been so fun to work with.
They are super nice people, and Steady
Yeah.
Betty's are nice. Everybody's nice. We're just lucky in this.
And what I love, I will
Well,
say to
well.
add at the end of this, that all of, like, Steady Betty we know personally, Caterpillar we know personally, we know us personally, we're all small family businesses. So I really like that. We're not on the Forbes list for the richest person in the world, but we have a lot of fun.
We're not Forbes.
We are not on the Forbes list.
No, we're
But no,
not.
I'm saying because it's nice to support small businesses.
Yes.
So thank you for everybody that orders all our stuff. It makes us happy.
Yes, and we hope you're having fun with it.
Yeah.
So on that note, I'm going to say thanks for watching us, and
Yep.
happy stitching.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.